let's look at the future of March Madness. I have a source who just sent me a lot of details about what could happen with March Madness. And, do you have the haves and the have-nots? I know they love the Cinderella story, but I wonder if these, everybody in the SEC and the ACC and the Big Ten's going like, why are we entertaining this? Why don't we have our own model? And
Right.
and I think that's where the sport is going to be headed here.
I think even if they go there with the Power Fives breaking away, I think the basketball tournament should always include everybody. And I think it will. I think if you expand it a little bit, which you could do very easily without hurting the tournament, you have play-in games right now. Just go to three more sites and add a few more teams. But at the end of the day, I think the tournament, you like those teams. They're not going anywhere in most cases, but it's still fun. And there will be upsets. There will be upsets this year. Basketball is much, much more equal now, and it's much harder to really determine who should, who shouldn't be in. But for the most part, they get the right teams in. I think the problem with the net is it's not accurate. It really shows what you did in November and December, and if your league doesn't do well, then you can't recover.
Yeah.
For example, right now, Duke's playing the best of anybody in the country. They're a what, 4 seed?
I think five.
Five. That's based on they didn't have their starting point guard. They didn't have one of their best freshmen early in the year. They lost some games. Well, that is okay for getting in the tournament. But once you get teams in the tournament, the committee should be looking and saying, well, which teams really are the best teams now?
Yeah.
Duke's the best. One at the worst, they're in the top 8 to 10 teams at the worst. Whereas there's some other teams that played really well early, lose 6 or 7 games at the end of the year, their seeding is too high, but they're basing on the whole year. It's all right to base entry into the tournament on the whole year, but when you get to seeding, you got to go with who's really good right now. This is the team that's really good. And the same happens in leagues. Last year we won 14 games in our league and we got 5 teams in it. We got 5 teams in again this year, and that's 1/3 of our league. Some leagues are getting 60 or 70% of the teams in their league, and they're not doing that well in the tournament. There's a league that hasn't won a game in years getting a bunch of teams in the tournament. I think there has to be some value put on you get in the tournament based on winning your league, basically.
Yeah.
But if your league doesn't do well in the tournament year after year after year after year, then there needs to be some kind of thought put into that. But that's just an observation from somebody that's been around too long, probably.